It looked good on you.
Skina. My name is Alexandre Nequado. I'm with my colleague André Dudemaine, and our guest today is Big Tones. If you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Anthony Pasqua. I also go by Big Tones. I'm a hip hop artist that comes from, I come from Pasqua First Nation and Trinity Ford territory, but I'm living in Saskatoon right now, actually. Nice to see you all.
Happy to have you with us, Big Tones. Actually, I discovered you and your work in Toronto at the last Indigenous Music Summit in June last year. You were at this strange bar where they were serving a hamburger.
Oh, okay, because I was like, I feel like I remember your face, because I remember people's faces pretty well. And I was like, I feel like I've seen you before somewhere. Yeah, at the bar there. I think I can't remember what it's called. The supermarket or something, I think.
Yeah, that was market in the
where they have the cart on the front of
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, wow, this guy is great, it's fantastic. And I spoke to Eli. Eli is a friend of us that works for comment ça s'appelle, Alexandre?
Mondial
Montreal. And well, he is in show business and music, especially in music, since years, and he's a lot younger than me. And I said, for me, this guy is great. What do you think? He said, you're right. Okay. I said, well, I may be an old fart, but I can still see the talent in hip hop. How come hip hop arrives to you in your life?
It's just like, I don't know, to be honest, it's kind of like I've always listened to rap music. When I was young, my dad kind of always was listening to rap music. Not to say there wasn't different things that were listened to, like old, kind of like old rock and roll, things like that as well. But I feel like I just kind of really resonated with a lot of like the pain and like the struggle that was in like hip hop music and rap music specifically. So yeah, it just really kind of stood out to me because I could like really understand what people were going through. And I think the rebellion, against racism and things like that as well. It was just something that really always kind of like it spoke to me like personally. Do you know what I mean? Dealing with racism and things like that all my life. And so, yeah, that's kind of why it stood out like that.
Did you have your childhood in Saskatoon or in the community?
Actually, I was born in Surrey, BC, so I was born out in Vancouver, basically, kind of just out there. I spent a couple of years out there, probably like 6 or 7 years, and then I would say like kind of like my most important childhood years I spent in Regina, Saskatchewan, actually. So it's a couple hours south of here in Saskatoon, and then spent about another like 7 years there till I was about like 13 or 14, and then I went back to Surrey, BC again, and stayed there till I was about 28 or 29, and then I actually just moved to Saskatoon like 3 or 4 years ago. So I've only been here a little while.
What if we want to mention the First Nations you are from? Which one would be the good one?
Yeah, I think they're all good ones, but I come from Pasqua First Nations down in Treaty 4 territory. So same as my last name. Yeah, that's what the First Nations is called.
And there is, you mentioned it, struggle against racism in your song, but also there is a lot of hope and light. And can you speak about it? Because you could have focused on the anger And we know that as First Nations in Canada, we are right to be angry sometimes, and but you go beyond that in your song.
Yeah, I think like I spent a lot of my time in my life being like pretty angry, and hip hop music, and just like rap music, hip hop is a way of life. It kind of really showed me about like community and things like that, and so I was kind of really able to express myself freely, and yeah, like it was pretty intense. Like I know maybe not as intense as it was before my time, but when I was growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, like it was still pretty racist, and people were pretty mean, and so I had a pretty hard time being First Nations. And so yeah, it wasn't until later on in life that I was like I kind of addressed that and was having maybe like problems with like my identity, not really knowing who I was, not having language or culture or anything like that. And so yeah, I think now things are way different. You're right. Like it's much more different and hopeful. And so yeah, I feel like there's so much more to be hopeful for. There's so many more people that are like working endlessly to bring back the right revitalization of language and culture and things like that. And First Nations artists are being recognized on like a national level and international level. And I think it's also good to note that not so much as just like indigenous artists, but like just like as artists in general. And so I think that's something that's very powerful as well in itself, is that people are being recognized that are First Nations as like artists, you know what I mean, rather than just like, oh, like this is this indigenous artist, which is also great too to say that. But I think that people are being now recognized at like a international or national level as well.
This is Vincent Caro, who is when that work with us, is a filmmaker too, and he presenting a film, not one film, several short film from indigenous filmmakers. He said to the crowd, to be an indigenous artist is not something less; it is something more that we can bring to the creativity in our works. But I would like you to speak maybe about some of your song. I saw that there is one that is called Moccasin Flats, and for us in the East, Moccasin Flats is a TV show at APTN, but it refers to a specific place. Can you speak about it?
Yeah, so actually, funny enough that you say that, it is actually referring to that TV show, because that TV show is about North Central Regina, so it's about like the hood in Regina. So actually, my auntie is Jennifer Podemsky, who like wrote and directed that show as well. And so I I remember like I just like kind of woke up one morning and I was having a really hard morning emotionally. And yeah, I just kind of like was like started like kind of crying, right? And I was like, oh man, like, and I had that beat for that song and I started writing it, and I just like wrote like this really amazing song. Yeah, called Moccasin Flats. I didn't really know what to call it at first, but so when I was young, I was like I I had like a little small role in the TV show as well. And so it's something that always kind of like clicked in my mind. And so yeah, just like the thought of like the song and like what it portrays and like the difficulties of life kind of just as like a First Nations person, because that whole album existence is kind of just about like the existence of like being a First Nations person in like modern society. And so the idea of the song is really to kind of like in capture just that, but then also thinking about like all of like my friendships and stuff like that that exist in, Regina, Saskatchewan, where lots of my childhood friends live, and lots of stuff that they experience and things that I experienced as well, growing up in different places, but also very similar. And so it's a song that kind of like captures the idea of just existing right? And then yeah, that name, like I said, came from it's kind of like a homage to my aunt as well, because um it's really cool to see people doing things for the community and bringing it into the community, and also kind of like sharing the spotlight with people in community, right? My aunt also uh was is Kristen Friday, who was also in the TV show as well, played Chrissy, I think her name was. But that's actually her name too. But anyways, like yeah, all that to say is like the idea of it is like to really think about like the community and how everybody is experiencing all those things in different places at the same time, and how we can kind of try to move past and grow past those things, even though it's definitely hard out there.
Yes, Jennifer is Jennifer Podemsky. I didn't know she was your auntie, but that's a great lady, involved since long time in
Mhm.
TV and cinema productions amongst our nations. And yes, she had run several shows at APTM. I saw her recently. I was in June last month in Toronto for Imagine Native, and she was there. And now she is working on association that help young Aboriginal women to get a hold in the TV and cinema activities and industries production. So she is still very active. Oh, if she is listening to us, hello, Jennifer. And if she if she is not, tell her hello from our parts, please.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes. Did you play in some of the TV?
Yeah, so like I had like a pretty like minor role, but I played like the young Jonathan, so that was one of the characters.
In
And yeah,
Moccasin?
it was yeah, exactly. And so he's the one that like he's the one that killed his uncle, I think, with like, or no, his friend kills the uncle. I think he's so the uncle like trying to like sexually abuse him, and then his friend kills his uncle, and that's kind of like the basis of, I think, a big part of the plot in the TV show. At least I don't know. I can't really like you can't find it anywhere online, so it's yeah. But the idea of that is like pretty. It's just like a very like interesting everything about the show, and just yeah about like the new initiative that she's taking on is just like very admirable, because it's all like based in community and really trying to like help people, you know what I mean? Very like selfless, so I think it's very amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen that show. Like, I think I see that on Wikipedia. It ended like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
must have
dude, it
been
was
young at that time.
I was like a little kid basically. Yeah, I was in elementary school. Yeah.
But it's interesting because that was the first dramatic series run by indigenous producers, and there was a lot of trainings for young people to became able to act and to play a part in the scenario, in the story. So it was really important work at the time, because I think most of the actors, well, except maybe the first roles, most of the actors were brand new at the trade.
Yeah, well, I think even like a lot of like the first roles too, like I'm like that's what I know like my aunt, and I think like there was another dude in there, Justin, I think he passed away, so rest in peace to his soul. But yeah, I think even a lot of like the people that were taking on roles too were like all pretty new as well. So definitely very like cool. And it sounds like kind of like history also being made in a you don't even really know it's happening in real time.
And I saw that, was it last year, you won an award for the best song in the Saskatchewan. Can you speak about it?
Yeah, definitely. I won the at the Saskatchewan Indigenous Music Association Awards. I won the best song of the year for my song "Shine." And yeah, that song I made. Actually, I got the thing right here. Yeah, so that song I made at the during my CBC Reverie residency. So yeah, that was a really cool experience to make that song, and that song's like a very, very special song to me. It kind of changed the trajectory of my career and really helped in a lot of different places for sure.
Yeah, it's almost lets the sunshine in the song, right? That there is a call for the enlightenment.
Yeah, definitely. It was I guess I could tell you like a little bit about the song itself is I had like so I do a lot of youth work as well. So I work me and my partner, we both work actually in youth detention center. So it's basically kind of like a jail for kids. I don't know, that's pretty much what I would call it. They say detention center, but it's definitely like a jail. But anyways, so we do some hip hop stuff. I do some traditional singing in there as well with them, whenever I have the extra time as well. So yeah, right before I went to the CBC Reverie Indigenous residency last year in Toronto, so I participated in that as like a month-long residency for up and coming artists. Right before I went there, I actually had a loss, like a loss of yeah, like a youth that had gotten out and that passed away from yeah, drugs and just things that are just yeah. It was pretty hard. Kind of, it was like one of the first times that I experienced that. And I know it happens all the time, but yeah, it was pretty difficult to deal with, and so I was having a pretty hard time when I went out to do the residency because it happened like pretty much like the day before. And so yeah, when I was going there, I was kind of like filled with emotions. And yeah, that I kind of like shared that with everybody on the first day because we had like a sharing circle with an elder out there. And yeah, once we got in the studio with our producers, actually like the next week, I think something like that, and I got in like the first session. My homie, he's pretty much my homie now, like, but my partner had already known him and lots of like mutual friends. Um, we got in the studio and they cooked the beat up, or I think he's like, oh, I kind of had something that I already was working on a little bit. And I was like, okay, like check it out. And then yeah, he played it and I was like, oh, sick. And then yeah, we just sat down and probably within like 4 hours we wrote the song. Like I wrote all the lyrics. He finished the beat up, and we ended up recording it like within like 6 hours. It was basically all of like the foundation was laid, and everything was kind of yeah thrown in there. And yeah, the song is just kind of about like letting yourself exist in the way that you are, and just to like let like the song like yeah, it's basically about like shining as yourself. Letting that light inside really kind of just glow and letting everybody's light glow at the same time. You know, my partner always kind of like says this thing where it's like if you extinguish somebody else's flame, then it's not going to make yours grow brighter. And so I think it's just that idea of like everybody continuing to like shine together, and we can all illuminate and make things brighter.
So I suppose this is one of the songs that we will hear in Montreal when you will be on the stage of the upcoming Montreal First Peoples Festival.
Yeah, I got it in there for sure. It's yeah, like I said too, it was a really special song. It also like it peaked at number 6 on the CBC top 20 music countdown. So yeah, I always love performing it as well. It's a very special song to me, and so we'll definitely be doing it there in Montreal.
I understood that Montreal is brand new for you.
Yeah, so I've never been to Montreal before ever. My sister's boyfriend lives in Montreal, so She's there right now. Shout out to my little sister. But I'd never been there before. I'd never even been to Toronto before I went for the Reverie residency, and so I was just thinking about this earlier. I went to Canadian Tire, but I was like, oh man, like my music has really like opened up a lot of doors to places that I'd never even really uh, I don't know. I'm kind of like somebody who likes to stay at home. Like I'm pretty like homebody-ish, to be honest, in real life. But yeah, my music has like opened up all these doors for me that I would have never actually really thought possible. And so yeah, I've never been to Montreal. Super excited to come and visit. Um, I don't know, like, I coincidentally was already gonna be in Toronto for the Amazon Music Camp the week prior, so I'll just be training from Toronto to Montreal and get to experience that a little bit too. Somebody said that the train there is really nice.
Mm. You should plan for travel, like maybe stay a few days extra to visit the city.
Yeah. So the people, that booked were very kind enough because they're saving on airfare to put a day on each end for me just to have a little bit extra time in the community. So very thankful for that as well. So yeah, we do actually have a couple extra days. And my DJ, also my partner as well, it's gonna be her birthday. So we're gonna do some birthday celebrations for her. And yeah, it's gonna be, I think, pretty cool. But I think she's been there, so she kind of was like, "Oh, we could do these things," and I was like, "Okay, cool." I don't know what to do, but yeah, I think going in new places and exploring and just kind of getting familiar with the community as well is really important when you go places.
Yeah, we programmed you it for two performances because we thought that well, you are not known in Montreal, and we thought that when the first night the crowd will hear you, they will email or Facebook, Instagram to their friends and say, "Wow, you have to see this guy." And so there will be more people the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also extending the stay is pretty cool too, because now it's going to be on the Friday and the Saturday, which is really awesome.
Yeah, you will be first part of DJ Shop. He has a new show, so he is pretty famous, of course. And and the day after, the Saturday, you will be just before Ray, who is Maori rapper that will come from New Zealand, especially for the festival. So that will be really an encounter of great indigenous talents on the stage and and backstage too, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, they had when you were at the IAMS, did you did you make it to the Maori night? When they that was a crazy night when they had all the performances there. It was
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, I wanted this year to have Lady Chakra, but I just contacted her too late. She was already booked. She is really famous now. And she was there. Well, next year we probably we will try to book her in advance to be sure that she will be part of the festival. And you will discover also the Place des Festivals, where it's a park. It's a space in downtown Montreal, just beside the Museum of Fine Arts. No, Museum of Contemporary Arts, just beside it's since 2010 that it's open, and especially for outdoor shows right downtown. And this is where Jazz Festival was. It's outside shows and Francophonie too. And we are really proud to be there because when we wanted to access that new space, that was a mayor that was not so fond of indigenous culture at the town hall in Montreal at this time, and we really had to fight hard to get there. But now we are there, and
Nice.
we can say, "Wow, now big stones." And
Awesome.
yeah, and you would say we have a 100-foot allegory of a teepee in the middle of the place. That's pretty impressive.
Nice. That's really exciting. Yeah. And like I said, I'm really excited to just like take it all in and see what everything's like there. All different places have different type of like architecture and things like that, which is like really interesting. It's always cool to see different types of buildings and stuff. I don't know, in places that I go anyways, I find that interesting.
And there is 2 history museums in Montreal that have a fantastic exhibit on Indigenous cultures. And well, we will have time to show you and open the doors for you, especially at the Pointe-à-Calière. We are this year. They have this is the 325th anniversary of the Great Peace of Montreal. The Great Peace of Montreal was concluded by Indigenous leaders with the King of France. And in France, they still have that incredible paper where everybody signed, and of course, singing on a treaty was not Indigenous traditions. So the ambassador of the nation signed with pictogram, with drawings. And this is more than 300 years old. And it has traveled to Montreal. We opened the exhibition June 21st. And it's the treaty is there to be seen.
Wow.
So that's really something very, very special. And very moving to see that the leaders of the time to have put their mark on that great historical moment. Wow. That's interesting. So you will arrive in a good time in Montreal.
Cool. That's really cool, man. I think yeah, like the idea of the history of that, and actually, yeah, my in our treaty, in Treaty 4 too, my one of my ancestors in my family tree, yeah, Chief Pasqua, he made a pictograph of the signing of Treaty 4 as well. And that also exists down here in Saskatchewan. So people didn't know English, but they knew how to kind of like, take a piece of history and record it, which is like really amazing. So that'd be cool. I'd love to check that out.
Yeah. And also this is a multidisciplinary festival. So we have arts, craft. We even have skateboard platform. So if you want to skate, you can.
Yeah. No, I haven't done that since I was a teenager. But yeah, I'm sure that hopefully there's some people that will be. Yeah, I was gonna ask, so like also how did the festival come about, and how long has it been around for?
This is the 36th edition, so 36 years actually.
Oh wow.
The first one was in 1991. Yeah, so long ago. But at the beginning it was a weekend and a few activities, and all benevolent, no money, but slowly we have built something bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm.
Was it a screening at first, or like a show?
At the beginning, we wanted to make a film festival, but as nobody wanted in the 90s to give money for Indigenous arts, we had to make a benefit show. So with the benefit show, we had some music connected to the festival. And then when we started to screen, we had some visual arts people that arrived with their works under their arm, telling, can we hang our works in the cinema? So slowly, we were the only one in Montreal after the Oka crisis. The ambiance was not open to indigenous expressions, I can swear to you. So we had to, so we were alone. And many young artists wanted, of course, to be seen, to be exposed. And we were the only one, and they were all pressure us to say, oh, you should move the festival to the summer so we can have outdoors dance and outdoor show. And slowly, very rapidly, it was more than a film festival. But it is still a film festival. We have more than 60 titles, 60 films that are shown in different theaters in Montreal. Many are premiere, most of them Montreal premiere, but some also some mondial world premiere, and so it's a pretty well. We can say that's one of the great cultural and artistic event of indigenous cultures in Canada and in North America, certainly. So you will be part of it.
That's awesome. Cool. That's a long time. Yeah. And I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's probably really difficult at first, but yeah, 36 years later, you guys are still doing it. So that's something to be really proud of. Great work.
And you probably know Leonard Sumner. Leonard Sumner, no?
Maybe not.
Anyway, you will meet him. He's from Manitoba.
He's coming back?
Oui, but yes, but he will be there this year too. This is funny because the first time Sumner came to Montreal, he was a student in communication, and he had a short film that was screened at the festival. And after the screening, he went to Place des Festivals and saw a local artist, an Innu, that was performing on stage. And he said, wow, that's what I want to do now. And so he became a singer from right in the middle of Place des Festivals in Montreal. And now he's pretty well known in the indigenous circles. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's like total switch. I'm going to do this now. That's amazing.
Okay, so we ask, of course, at everybody who is listening to us to by in all their communication, especially on the social medias, to speak about it, to speak about the show, to speak about the festival. That one of the difficulty we have in Montreal, the main newspapers and media, even Radio Canada, they just try to forget that we exist, because this is one of the manifestation of racism that is still there. So we use a lot now. And for me, I smiled when we heard those guys say, "Oh, this is fake news. It is not in the real newspaper." Well, actually, we can have real news that are circulating that we cannot, that they don't care when they are organizing the cultural information in those media. So, but we now with the social media, with Facebook and with the podcast, we have the possibility to reach a larger public. But on Place des Festivals, it's a bit different because this is part of a cultural district, what is called the cultural district, Quartier des Spectacles. And the organization, Quartier des Spectacles, that run the activities in the neighborhood, they did a survey in Montreal, and they asked people, what do you want to see when you come to when you come around? And most of the people responded, well, we want to be surprised when we go there. We know that there is something happening and we are there to discover. So for the Place des Festivals, at the concert by night, we have always a good crowd of people, and many of them, 36 years after, arrive and say, oh, I didn't know that festival was existing. Of course, they don't speak about us. They try to make us disappear in the silence, but we are tougher than that. Let's
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think that's like, yeah, that's all, like I said earlier, things are happening always, right? It's like kind of like a piece of history that you guys are doing that, and maybe one day they'll be like, hey, listen, this is actually the most amazing thing that's ever been in this community before. But yeah, you're right, like racism still exists, and it's still something that's very difficult, and so hopefully people can try to look past that and really kind of be more inclusive. I know here in Saskatoon, it's very inclusive. It's actually a really good city. Obviously, racism and stuff is still around and everything, but I think it's pretty progressive, and a lot of good things happen around here that are also have to do with just Indigenous art and everything. And so trying to, yeah, look toward the better future of people being kinder to one another.
Well, there is a lot of progress in Montreal too. We have the great piece, the great pine, white pine in the middle of the flags of Montreal now, which is very recent. There was a symbol of all kind of nations, English, French, Scottish, but no Indigenous on the armories of Montreal. And I don't know, 10 years ago, we have this new symbol that arrived, and now the Indigenous symbol, the great white pine, is right in the middle of the flag. So it's and we got a lot of institutional support now from Council of Arts, from the Quartier des Spectacles, from the town itself, from the city. So there is a lot of progress too. There is some zone of resistance against the glowing and the renaissance of the Indigenous cultures, but if you look at the great picture, it's going a lot better than it was, and we are doing progress each year.
Yeah, and I think that's to be expected as well in like bigger places anyways, right? Like you're gonna have a lot of like progress, and then a lot of people that are stuck in the past too. So I think it's as long as we're moving forward, that's the only thing that really matters. And the media will soon be on your side.
That's when all those people with the narrow-minded will take the retreat. There will be new people arriving with a more wider view of of the world and of the culture and of the reality of the city and of the country, obviously.
Awesome.
OK, alors, Alexandre, quelque chose à rajouter?
Oh, I'm good.
Est-ce que ben, on dirait, tu travailles pour ISOBEA. Now you work for the Indigenous Screen Office now.
Yes, yes.
Speak about it.
Oh, sorry, I was off. But I'm working with them as a communication coordinator.
OK.
So I've been working for the past 2 months at least.
OK. So congratulations. That's a new work, a new accomplishment for you. Is it a full-time job or?
Yeah.
But you are still doing the Ruedadegen podcast.
Ouais, c'est ça. Yes. So since I'm working from home, it's easier to manage my my work days.
Okay. Bon, I think that's it for today. Thank you, Big Tones. We will look forward. We cannot wait to have you on scène Québécois on Place des Festivals. It will be, if I remember well, August 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
August 7, that's a Friday.
Friday and Saturday, yes.
Oh, you will have the big stage?
Yeah, on our big stage and the big place in the heart of Montreal.
Perfect. Cool. That's what we need, and that's what we'll do. And everybody will have a great time. I'll have a great time. It's going to be awesome.
Okay, so next week we will, of course, speak again about the activities that will take place in the festival. We have also a fantastic poster that will be out soon. This is Jay Soul again, that Chippewa, that made the illustration, and our superhero this year is Enukunu. Enukunu is the spider Innu. So we have our own Spider-Man to go ahead with, of course, the dream catchers, and with our capacity to weave beauty and hope.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I look forward to it. Nice to speak to you both, and nice to meet you both. Look forward to seeing you in person, and also if I see you as well, Alexandre, then that would be great. But if I don't, it was also nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay, alors, Matashi.
Matashi, see you next week. Bye.
Ciao.